Good afternoon, boys and girls. Mrs. Disidore here to read you the third grade read aloud of Superfudge. We are in the middle of chapter 9, is it? Did I start number 9? No, chapter 8. Okay, where Peter is going to go, he's in the middle of trick-or-treating with his friend Alex, and they're taking Fudgy with him. So he doesn't have to go with the kindergarten babies. All right. We grabbed our pillowcases to hold all our candy and we left. We worked our way up one side of the street, then down the other. When we got close to Mrs. Muldar's house, Alex said, "Maybe she'll give us some worms for a treat." "Worms?" Fudge asked. "Yeah," Alex told him. "She's very big on worms." "So is Uncle Feather," Fudge said. "Uncle Feather is a bird," I said. "Why does everybody keep saying that?" Fudge asked. "I know Uncle Feather is a bird." He was quiet for a minute. Then he said, "What does she do with her worms?" "You know, she eats them," Alex said. "Really?" Fudge asked me. "We think so," I told him. We walked up the path to Mrs. Muldar's house, and Alex rang the bell. "If she gives us worms, we can feed them to Uncle Feather," Fudge whispered. I told him. Mrs. Muldar opened the door. She was wearing a jogging suit. "Well, well, well," she said. "What a cute little ghost." "I'm not cute. I'm scary," Fudge told her. "Ooh." Mrs. Muldar clutched her chest. "Oh, my. You are a scary ghost." "Hi, Mrs. Muldar," Alex said. "Hello, Alex. That is an unusual costume you're wearing." "It's called Anita's Anger. I got the idea from a painting I saw downtown," Alex said. Mrs. Muldar turned away from us and called, "Beverly! Beverly! Come here! You've got to see this!" Right away, I knew it was her, Giraffe Neck. I knew before I could even see her face. I knew by the way she walked from the other room to the front door and by the curly hair. "This is my daughter, Beverly," Mrs. Muldar said to us. Then she turned to Beverly and said, "Alex is dressed as a painting. Can you guess which one?" Beverly studied Alex for a minute. "Well, with the white background, the black squares, and the red square, it must be Anita's Anger." "Right," Alex said. Remember, Beverly is the person that actually works in the art gallery. I thought about telling Beverly about the night Jimmy's parents had their big fight, and how Mrs. Fargo had dumped red paint on Mr. Fargo's campus, and how Mr. Fargo had named his painting Anita's Anger because Anita is Jimmy's mother. I thought about telling her the whole story, but then I remember how I've told Jimmy things that I wouldn't have told anybody else, and I knew that if I were Jimmy, I wouldn't want my best friend telling the whole world secrets about my family. "Do you really eat worms?" Fudge asked out of nowhere. It gave him a kick, but that didn't stop him. "Peter says you eat them all the time, and he knows everything because he's naturally smart, except for matching questions." Mrs. Muldar and Beverly looked at each other. Fudge continued, "So did you?" "Did we what?" Mrs. Muldar asked. "Eat worms for supper tonight." Alex let out a groan, and I could see our business going down the drain. Mrs. Muldar smiled at Fudge. "Yes, we did," she told him. Beverly added, "There's nothing like home-baked worms, and my mother's recipe is the best." "We eat them instead of cauliflower," Mrs. Muldar said. "We need to get our vitamins one way or the other." "Are your worms fortified?" Fudge asked. Alex groaned again. "Oh." "My worms are naturally fortified," Mrs. Muldar said. "They're chock full of vitamins. No preservatives, nothing added. Just the real thing." She was beginning to sound like a commercial for worms. I could hear the announcer saying, "Buy Mrs. Muldar's naturally fortified worms. They're chock full of vitamins. Grind them up in your favorite recipe. Blend them into your milkshakes. Serve them instead of cauliflower on those special occasions." Would you like to taste one of my special worm cookies? Mrs. Moldar asked Fudge. Yes, Fudge said, following Mrs. Moldar into the house. We marched through the house to the kitchen. On the counter was a big plate of cookies, fresh out of the oven. They look like chocolate chips, Fudge said. They are, Mrs. Moldar told him. Chocolate chip worm cookies. Which part is the worm? Fudge asked. Mrs. Moldar laughed. You can't see the worms. I grind them up and mix them into the flour. Just like the commercial, I thought. Go on, Mrs. Moldar said, offering the plate of cookies to Fudge. Take one. Fudge chose a cookie and held it to his lips, but he hesitated, and I could see that he wasn't sure he really wanted to taste a chocolate chip worm cookie after all. Beverly took one and shoved it into her mouth all at once. Mmm, she said. Those are really good, Mother. She took another and ate it quickly, too. Then she brushed the crumbs off her hands. Fudge bit his cookie. He chewed it up very slowly. It's good, he said. You can't even taste the worms. Mrs. Moldar offered the plate to Alex and me. We each took a cookie. Fudge asked if he could have another, and Mrs. Moldar said she'd do better than that. She'd wrapped a little package of cookies for him to take with him home. Would you have taken a cookie? I don't know. Do you really think there are worms in the cookie? I think she's just kind of playing with them. I think she's just teasing and going along with it. When we got home, Fudge dumped out his pillowcase on the dining room table. He arranged his candy and snacks and counted everything. 11 M&Ms, 7 Nestle Crunch, 5 Hershey's without almonds, 3 with, 2 Milky Ways, 1 granola bar, 4 apples, and 6 worm cookies. What did you say? Mom asked him. Nothing, Mom, I told her. He didn't say anything. Did you, Fudge? Here, Mommy, Fudge said. Have a cookie. Mrs. Moldar just baked them. Thank you, Mom said. She tasted it. Mmm, very good. I wonder where she got her recipe. It's been in her family for a long time, I said. And they're naturally fortified with, I didn't give him a chance to finish, no preservatives, no additives, naturally fortified, and chock full of vitamins. Right, Fudge? Right, Peter, he said, smiling. And I knew that he understood. Okay, so we're going to stop here at that chapter. So they went trick-or-treating, and a big thing in this chapter was his friend, Jimmy Fargo. His dad is an artist, and he drew this painting with circles and squares, and it's a famous painting now. It's being sold in an art gallery in the town that Peter is living in right now for like thousands of dollars. And that's what his friend Alex decided to be for Halloween. He decided to be that piece of art. Also, we met Mrs. Moldar, and we found out, the woman that likes the worms, we found out that her daughter is Beverly that works in that art gallery. So they were giving them worm chocolate chip cookies, but like I said, I don't think they really have worms in them. So that is probably, oh, and here's a picture on the back. And I believe this is Mrs. Moldar. There's Beverly. Not sure who, this might be Alex. And I don't think we've met the rest. Maybe this is Mrs. Pigeon, the kindergarten teacher, and Mr. Green, the principal. I don't think, maybe, that's his grandmother. That's right, Peter's grandmother. But we have not met this character yet. This is actually going to be one of Fudgy's friends. So that's it for today. We will get to chapter 9 tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this chapter, and I hope you have a great weekend. Miss you all and stay safe.